What did you do, Nico? Did you shoot him? No, he didn't. Always. Did you get scared? Nico. Military, you know? Thor. No. Nico, close the door, please.
But then again, you know, it just needs a couple of months, you know, November, December.
Our weather are so strange.
After that,
It's very, but I think it's kind of fun, you know? You
No, it's different. It's different. Well, God has it all under
Okay.
control.
okay.
Oh, actually, no. It was $19.35. Mm-hmm. I used all my food. I have it right here in my hand. I am, but we have to start a picture first.
It's this way.
And take a photo, and then you get a read cup. You hold it, but don't eat it.
In real life, you can
Smile, look at the photo.
Okay, Nico, show me how it works. Thor, don't drop it, baby. And shoot it. That is brilliant, Nico.
That's brilliant.
Watching the Grinch. Let's go down, boys. Nico. Thor, come on. You can do this. Okay, go down. My almost 3-year-old still sliding down the stairs.
Good joy.
Boys are having breakfast a little bit late. It's peanuts, and yeah, those are a little bit icy for you to digest. Nico, we're not having that until we finish eating.
Oh, it's another one.
Oh, I know. Oh, you want to eat? You want to eat? And what are we having for breakfast? rice and chicken. This guy's lying. Nico and Thor. I am so upset with both of you. No, 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 no. Come here now, both of you now. Come here now. They are running. Naked babies. Cutting board, Mom.
Get funny.
Cutting board?
They're loving 95.
Okay, we're gonna pray.
All right, is everybody ready?
Yes.
Let's pray. Father God, we're so grateful. Lord,
Eat it.
If I was
All right, I'm gonna have to give you. Think of it. Make
we all
the
work
fork
together
right
with our
here.
kids,
Use the
you
fork.
know,
Yeah.
so there's a time where they could
I have to
interact.
go.
And then Sundays, he goes to church in the morning, so he never sleeps in.
The hard
I
one
can't
there is
imagine a life like that.
touch it.
So he just like maybe he's not used to it.
It's
probably competitive too.
I hit it like this, mentally. No, you have to forget about it. Don't get
Act like
upset.
you're playing your sister.
There you go, you see? Yeah. Thor, come here, Thor. You too, Thor. Come on, right here. Nice, good boy. Thor, come here. Thor, Uncle Bob's gonna help you. Thor. Throw it in there, and then you hit it. Throw it in there. Okay, I'll throw it in the air. Something like that. Yeah, something like
14, 15. And keep switching left, right.
17. 17.
17.
16,
16, 14, switch.
7.
Are you giving him lessons? You want to play with Thor? Here, Thor, let me open that for you.
No.
He wants me to press this and don't let it go. Nico, I can't let it
No.
go. So I have to hold it the whole time.
Give me some more. Nico, let's finish the tea party. You're not? Okay, give me something to drink. Now I need some water. Okay, no more. Oh my goodness, that's hot. It's hot. What are you gonna do? You're gonna blow on it. There you go. You're gonna do the tea party now again. Okay, thank you. Thor.
They made you eat. My friend.
Hold, oh, yeah. Okay, hold him. Yeah, very good. He's holding his little brother. Okay,
Okay,
yeah.
Thor, that's enough.
Thank you.
I know. He came running to see his little brother.
You wanna hold him? You wanna hold baby Fenton? Here. Okay, carry. No. Put your hands like it was a dog. There.
Represent. Oh. Those are from Thanksgiving. You can't? Which one? You were playing with the balls all day. That's the problem. You have to eat. Come on. No. Come back here. Come back here, man. Mira.
Esa inflamación de trigger le causó ese problema.
Let me see your hands.
Yo tengo un desorden de inflamación general por muchos factores.
Oh. Mira? Nico, don't make him. Did you wake up the baby? Did you find him? Who told you what the baby was? Oh. Come here. Come with me. Okay. He's excited. And it's us. Hi, Nico. What are you doing down there? Oh, I was supposed to bring up Thor.
There, come here. One. There, two.
Thor, listen to your dad.
And I tell you, Papa. Come here.
Benton, you're getting too fat. I mean, growing too fast.
No. Come here. You put your pants. Move them out.
Are you talking? Nico's coming. Are you talking to the frogs?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a neighborhood. They do it every year.
Turn left onto Northwest 45th Avenue.
It's in a neighborhood. That's one house.
Turn left.
No? I don't know.
Proceed to the route.
Oh, that's a group of houses.
That's what I'm saying. It's their
Proceed
neighborhood.
to the route.
Wow, that's you.
I know.
Really cool. Why didn't the other one they didn't do it?
it takes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Good morning. But this one.
Funny door.
My turn.
Waiting to check the kids in. I don't know what's going on. Check. Check, what's that?
Papa! Papa, go.
Let go. It was Papa, Nico.
Oh, it was Papa.
It was Papa.
Do not grumble against one another, so that you may not be judged. See, the judge is standing. I think this is where it gets really interesting, because that is probably not the answer that John was hoping to hear. John had lived his whole life with the expectation that it was going to turn out differently, and now Jesus was saying, while he's in prison, now he's saying, how you thought it was going to be, that's not how it's going to play out. And then, ultimately, John is executed. In Christ, you're already good enough. No matter what anyone says to you, no matter what you read on the internet, no matter how you feel like your career or your life is going, no matter what that stuff is going around, no matter what anyone thinks, you are already good enough. We have a wonderful tradition in baptism in our church. It unites us with those who have gone before us. And so we have this privilege to bring people into the family of faith. And one of the greatest things about being Presbyterian, if you ask me, is we have people who care for our children, who will walk with them throughout their life, but all of you pledge to be part of that great effort to raise up little Steve Martin here in the faith. And so you all effectively are godparents. And I think this is a beautiful thing.
Little toes. Hi, Thor.
I'm home.
You're home?
Yes, glad out.
What are you practicing? We have the whole restaurant to ourselves. And this is the first time the boys are here awake. They've never been awake here before. So I quarantined this kid. What does it taste like? Watermelon? Thank you. Here, so can you sit down next to Thor there and give him some water too, please? Nico, is that yours? Thor, is that yours? Not cool. They're gonna make a tower. Boys are gonna make a tower while Mama and Papa eat. They already had their snacks. I'll get it for you. I'll get it for you. So I'm still fasting, and look at our little setup here. The kids are eating the salmon with avocado and building their Jenga towers. And these two are playing.
Yes, Mom.
Nico, your turn. Oh.
Got it?
Yeah. Nico. 1, 2. And Mina?
Papa's talking to you. Uh-oh, my drink. No, that can't happen. Hey.
Good job.
Yep, now it's my turn. I took out one. Nico, where's yours? Did you take out one? Yeah, Nico took out one without letting it fall. Now it's Mama's turn. Your turn.
What?
Take out one. Anyone.
This one?
You can take whichever one you want. This is his first time No, you can't touch it with the other hand. Only one hand. No.
This is our game.
This is our game. Okay, let me take this away from Thor. Okay, Nico, my turn.
Again, here.
Nico, my turn. It's coming out.
And.
Go.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Now you need a fourth one. Hey, that was so easy. That's good.
Nico, last one. Here, Nico, last one. Ah, fantastic. Pulpo.
You can't. Okay, this game is over.
Your entire life, your entire self-image is basically a compilation of verdicts that have been passed on you, things that people have said about you. Now when you get married, your spouse has got massive ability to has the power to overturn all those verdicts in a single word. Your spouse has the ability to reprogram your self-appreciation. Your spouse can say, I don't care what anybody ever said, you're smart. You are a bright person, and you will become feeling bright. You'll feel that way. And if everybody else has said, I think that you are a louse, I think that you amount to nothing, your spouse says, I think you're a significant human being. I think you contribute to so many people's lives, you'll start to feel significant. It's also true if your spouse starts to say, you're a louse. You'll never amount to a hill of beans. What that does is it completely destroys you. You see, marriage, you put into the, when you get married, you put into the hands of your spouse the ability to make or break you. Now, I'll tell you why this deep unity doesn't work, doesn't develop in most people. Because when you get married, you have no idea the power you've got. When you get into your first argument, you start to deal with your spouse the way you've dealt with your brothers and your sisters and your parents and your roommates and your friends. And you say things just like you said to them. And you say mean things like you said to them. And you don't think that it's going to go any deeper into this person's heart than it did in other people's. Other people will walk away. Other people will get over it. Look out. Look out. You think you've got a BB gun in your hands and you've got a rocket launcher. You think all you're going to do is sort of, give them a little flesh wound. The next thing you know, there's nothing there but a pair of sneakers with smoke coming out of it. That's the funny illustration. The awful illustration is I'm thinking of Lenny in Mice and Men, who doesn't know his own strength, remember? And who has a little girl, and trying to talk to her and trying to show her what he wants to say, and she starts to scream, and he says, don't you do that! Don't you say anything, and next thing you know, it says, what does it say? Her head was flopping back and forth because Lenny had broken her neck. She was dead. He had no idea how strong he was. He didn't know his own strength. He meant well. If you use your ability to reprogram your spouse's self-appreciation, if you learn how to go into somebody's life, and even when you criticize, you do it in a way that's affirming. If you learn how to do that, and friends, you need to be doing it with your father and your mother and your parents and your brothers and your sisters and your roommates. You need to be doing it anyway. They're not getting killed by your sharp tongue. They're not getting killed by the nasty things you say, the unedifying words you say. But if you get into a marriage with these kinds of speech patterns, you will find that you will kill each other. If, on the other hand, you start building one another up, what's fascinating is the more you affirm, you use that tremendous power to affirm the person, the easier it is for your spouse to open up about his or her faults. Because if you have a cradle of security for your moments of vulnerability, if you know that this is the one person who really respects me, knows me to the bottom, and loves me and respects me, and that's a certainty in your life. It's like a ground note underneath everything else. Then you have a sort of security, you have a foundation from which you can, for the first time in your life, admit your faults. Because you see, in the past, to even admit your faults was very difficult because you began to wonder whether you were any kind of decent person at all. But now you know you are because of what your spouse is saying to you. You know about your worth there. Your spouse does, this is a great mystery. The relationship between a man and a wife is like a Christ and the church. Of course, it's a fascinating mystery because, as you know, if you've been here and heard the preaching, you know that it's the scripture that says that it's Christ who does that to you. Christ reprograms your self-image. Christ says, I died for you, and that's the only thing that matters. Christ says, let the fact that I died for you, let that be the weightiest fact in your life. Let that matter more than anything else. You matter to the only one who matters. See, Christ reprograms that. Next to Christ, the person who can do that the most effectively is your spouse, because marriage is basically built on the dynamic of salvation. It's built on the pattern of salvation. That's the reason why Paul can go back and forth talking about Christ's salvation in relationship to us and the relationship between a husband and a wife. So in the same way, if you do that, if you affirm, if you use this tremendous ability to reprogram that person's self-image, you'll find that the person will open up more and more and the deep oneness will come. You'll have the ability to talk about one another's faults. But on the other hand, if you abuse this, if you don't realize you got a rocket launcher in your hands, it's very fast what will happen. What will happen very quickly is both of you will realize I cannot trust the other person with what I really think. Because they can nail me like nobody has ever been able to nail me. So I'm afraid to do that. So what you do is you close up and you say, what happens is instead of deep oneness, you have what most marriages are, which is a kind of a combination of business partnership and social contract and parenting partnership. A lot of people have a slightly better relationships after they're divorced, raising their kids together, right? Which goes to show they never really developed or had the deep oneness.